Erin Spelger and I work with glass art, which means I'm a glass blower and I engrave on it too. Always wanted to try glass blowing and I took this as an opportunity to do that. So at the Sydney College of Art, I studied for about 2 weeks. We studied safety measures and how to make the right shapes, and then we started glass blowing for the last 4 or 5 weeks. Classes were 3 or 4 days a week, and then we'd have a weekend. So we spent as much time as we could with the molten glass work. So I engraved my name into one piece in Australia, and then I came back. And again, it was a lot of let's, spend our money on lessons and make stuff. And then my dad bought me my engraving tool, and so I use that when I'm feeling like getting involved in glass art. I don't really have a favorite piece of mine just because I like to think of the work that I've made now as like your first ceramic pieces when you're in a ceramics class, because they're not technically good, but like they're my babies, but they're not symmetrical. They're not like the perfect width. They're just not perfectly symmetrical, and it's really important as someone who values the art to be symmetrical, but that's just like part of the learning process. The glass is in this 1,000-degree oven and it's never turned off. So you have this puddle of clear glass in this very hot oven. If you turn it off, it cools and it hardens. Whenever you want to start, you start and you have to take a pull of it, and then you have to let it cool. You have to marver it, and you have to blow a bubble. It's a lot of heating, like reheating, because the second it cools, it's hard, it's glass, so you can't mold it at all. So you have to keep reheating it, and it's a really long process. And then when it's all done, it has to go in a kiln for about 24 hours to cool down at a proper speed, or else it'll just crack and break in half. I have an engraving tool that's portable. You just need to plug it in, and it's not very dangerous. It doesn't require a lot of machinery, so I can take it anywhere and engrave. So I usually just do it in my room. And I usually engrave things like little designs, or typically my name and the date in which I completed the piece. You have to wear pants and closed-toed shoes for sure. Long sleeve shirts help because it's really hot and I get heat rashes. So like the first few times it literally felt like my skin was burning because you're so close to that oven. Sometimes you can cut a hole in a sock and wear it. I did that a lot because I thought it was funny. And so that's something you have to wear goggles, and you have to tie your hair back. Safety precautions are the main thing you have to worry about, and you have to make sure you're wearing the right clothes. I'd rather use it as an outlet for art than as a career, so I'll probably just continue taking lessons and enjoying like the pieces of art that I make. Glass blowing is a very expensive hobby because you have to rent studio space. I don't own a 1,000-degree oven that has a pool of glass in it. So the material itself, glass, is pretty expensive. Colored glass is expensive. And right now, personally, I need an instructor there. I can't produce things on my own. Typically, you need 2 people to make a tumbler, which is a vessel, which is a cup. Anything that has one opening is a vessel. So a cup, a vase, etc. And you basically need 2 people to make that. So I've been having to enroll in classes, and at Monarch Studio, which is the local Kansas City studio, it's like $425 for 2 days, like 8 hours of glass blowing each day. So you get a lot of pieces done, but it's really expensive. For what it's worth though, a handmade glass vase would probably cost $80. So when you're paying $425 for a day, you get to create it, you get the experience, plus you probably make $400 worth of glass art, but it is a big investment.